All
That's
right.
it.
Do you want to talk about moon mining then, or?
Yeah, why don't we
Smooth
end it on
transition, guys. I love it.
Yeah, let's do it.
smooth.
Here it is.
But no, I just thought so. I'm still digging into this thing, but I just thought this is a really good example of how easily things can be dismissed. But then when you read into it, you're like, "Wow, there's something there." Because I think me and you, Brendan, we've talked about our feelings about Kathy Woods and Ark Invest, and then we questioned some of her decisions. The big one was space mining, asteroid mining, right? We thought like that, like this is like some Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, it's way into the future, we thought.
Yeah, and then yeah, and I didn't even know where the technology was, but then I started reading up on Starlink, and it led me to SpaceX, and it led me to a whole bunch of. I just went down the Alice in Wonderland there, and I found out that it's actually conceivable to be mining an asteroid within a decade. There's a giant asteroid. Sam, if you could, can't show the screen. Yeah. So there's a giant asteroid called Psyche. It's in our solar system, and it's the heart of a dead planet, basically. So when a planet dies, all the metals compress into the center of the heart, right? So it just becomes this giant hunk of alloys. And so there's let me see if we can pull it up, but I think it's like 80 something percent steel, iron, just the common stuff that we use. But there's still millions of tons of really rare stuff like platinum. And so this thing is about 185 kilometers in diameter, and it is massive. And it's like if you were to do an exercise and you value this thing, you're buying it at 2 cents per kilogram. This thing is worth over $5 quadrillion, 500,000 quadrillion dollars. It's like it's off the charts,
I don't even
right?
know how to like, process that number.
Yeah, like
I
what do you even call 500,000 quadrillion dollars?
quadrillion.
Wouldn't that just be
How many
something else?
zeros is that? Like 20?
Yeah, I don't think my iPhone will do that calculation. But so like what makes it feasible is like so okay, so we have the resource there, we know it's there. So what makes it feasible is the fact that there's a company called Relativity, and they're like a SpaceX competitor, but they're refining the ability to 3D print engines. They're printing rocket engines, and then their plan is to not only print the rocket engine, but to print the whole cargo ship on the way back too. So the whole idea is you just need a ship with propellant and a printer. That's all you need to get to that asteroid, and then whatever you need from there, you have the resources to make. Is that the whole asteroid is basically metals, right?
Dude, it sounds like Minecraft.
That's so like I just picture like a bunch of guys sitting around. So like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build a printer. We're gonna send it up to this rock in the space, and then we're gonna get it to make machines up there from the stuff on the rock, and then send it back to Earth. Everybody's like, I love it. Let's do it.
Uh, that's the crazy part. They're actually doing it, and like so this is like how far ahead the crazy engineers, these space engineers, think, right? So SpaceX has an engine called Raptor. It's like one of the most advanced engines on the planet. It could do a couple things that no other engine can, including it has like the record for the amount of pressure it can hold. And so like if an engine has a lot of pressure, then you have a lot of lift, and that's what you need, right? But it also runs on methane, which is not what rocket engines usually run on. And the reason they chose methane was because this rocket is meant to go to Mars. And so and Mars has a lot of methane. It's actually got a lot of CO2. So if you add H2O and CO2 together, there's two processes where you can turn it into methane. And so they're like, again, we just need enough fuel to go one way. We're gonna go there, synthesize what we need, and come back.
I love it, man. The future's awesome.